What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the PS5 career mode. This is episode number 14. And we start today's episode off with a look at our budget once more. As you can see, just over £20 million remaining after making 5 new signings for Season 2 here in the Premier League. And as you can see, our team is still devoid of real quality. And with £20 million, I'm not entirely sure what players we can get that's really going to give us a great chance of staying in the Premier League. As we know, we've been relying on free transfers and bargain pickups in the case of Lewis Baker, and that was no different for our first signing of today's episode as well. Yes, I scoured the free agents pool once again, and I found this young man, Saleh Ozkin, 23-year-old German midfielder, 74 rated, and at 23 years old, probably has a little bit of potential as well. We signed him to a 4-year, 19 grand a week deal, and he becomes our 6th signing for our debut season in the Premier League. To be fair, actually does look pretty decent as well. Can play holding mid, attacking mid, and also right through the centre of the park with 88 stamina. You know, I love that. Great defensive stats, 3-star, and again at 74 rated is now our best central midfielder here, alongside Lewis Baker and Annie Rinamotta as well. So yeah, I mean, there are some decent players in the free agents pool this year, and I've got to give props to EA as well. You know, I'm always very fair with EA. Some people think I'm quite critical at times, but I'm very fair. You know, I'll criticise them when they deserve criticising, but I'd also give them compliments when they deserve it as well. For the past few years, no good players would ever go into the free agents pool. You know, players would always automatically renew their contracts with their clubs, and it was incredibly unrealistic. But now, we've seen the likes of, well, Ozcan right there signing for us, Brian Brobby, a youngster getting released by Ajax, also signing for us this season as well, Stefan Bell coming in this year, there's Christian Benteke still available. I know some of you guys noticed him in the last episode. Charlie Austin got snapped up, otherwise I would have signed him here, but still, you gotta give props to EA, man. There's a lot more free agents available this time around. Still, for our first of 4 games in today's episode here, we will take on Burnley as Sean Dyche's Claret will come and take us on here at the Carabao Cup Foundation Stadium for match day 2 in the Premier League. Obviously drew the first game 1-1 against Arsenal and played really well. You would have noticed I played that game on ultimate difficulty and decided to drop it back down for legendary for this game. I'm not sure what difficulty I'll be using throughout the course of the season. Right now my idea is play the regular games on legendary and play the games against the bigger teams in the league, or the teams that are in great form on ultimate. That's the plan for now, but depending on how we get on this season, I'll look to adjust it and possibly the sliders as well. Again, what we're looking for in this series, as you all know, I keep on saying it, the key word is realism. So realistic gameplay and realistic results as well. Still, we were a goal down in this game. Bull almost found a leveler for us right before the break, firing that shot just wide, and then just after the restart here, Vallejo gets his second goal of the game and makes it 2-0. But Jed Spence, oh my word, welcome to the Premier League, young man, welcome to the Premier League. He switched off for the Martinelli goal against Arsenal. I wouldn't say he was at fault for that one, but either way, not great piece of awareness and concentration. And for that goal as well, nutmegged. Oh, that was absolutely filthy bit of skill. But Jed Spence already 2 goals to start the season off, he could have done better with. So Burnley go 2 goals up. Looks like the game is done, but with 15 minutes to go, we get right back in it. Omar Richards scores his first goal for the club. He was a fantastic signing for us last year. Didn't score a goal, but that's his first in a QPR shirt as he halves the deficit with quarter of an hour to go. And I was thinking there's still time to battle back from 2 goals down and get something. We did that a couple of times last season in the Championship, but with 3 minutes on the clock, trying to play out from the back here, give it away with Omar straight to Ashley Westwood. Good ball inside to Mofiba as he turns his man Dickey, he fires it in, and that would do it. There's the dagger. Burnley restored their 2-goal cushion. You can see by the wild scenes of celebration, it is going to be their second win to start the Premier League campaign off, and our first defeat as well. 3-1 would be the final score as Burnley kill us off right towards the end and come through with the big 3 points. And in the first episode of the new season, you saw in the last episode, of course the board said to us, make the Kai and Prince Foundation Stadium a fortress this year, Gaffer. We don't want to see more than 5 league defeats here all season long. Well, it's match day 2. and we've already had a defeat to Burnley. So yeah, that is going to be a really tough objective to hit. So Burnley get the win by 3-1 as we reject this bid from Luke Kane. We'll see it from Deportivo Alaves. But it does kind of show you how difficult the Premier League is going to be this year for us to stay up. You know, I talked about it in the season opener. Don't expect us to finish just outside the Europa League places and pull a Sheffield United. It's not going to happen. We just don't have the quality in this team. We are a 3.5-star team now, but we are still statistically the worst team in the division. It is going going to be a very difficult task to stay in the Premier League. And yeah, I think considering we were known for defence last year as well, we can't have many more displays like that. Conceding 3 at home to Burnley, that's very disappointing indeed. And so for our second game of today's episode, but third in the Premier League here, we travel away from home to take on Bournemouth, the team that won the Championship last season. And we know that these two teams will most likely be in a relegation scrap come the end of the season. So taking on the Cherries, we know that wins are going to be very, very far and few between this season. I saw this as an opportunity to get our first of the season and a big 3 points here on the South Coast. I think in the last 2 games against Arsenal and also Burnley as well, I wasn't really being very assertive, but in this one, right from the get-go, I thought, no, sod that, change your mentality, go for early goals. We had a golden chance early, Bright say Samuel firing just wide the post as it was still 0-0, and then ball denied by the Bosnian Begovic as we were still tied and still goals. We were looking a far better team though in the early stages. We kept our foot on the gas pedal, kept looking for that opening goal, and with 18 minutes on the clock, ball rolls it through to Bright, and Osei Samuel gets his second goal in 3 to start the Premier League campaign off. I can imagine most fantasy Premier League managers put Bright Osei Samuel in their team come the start of the season. They've probably totally undervalued him at like 6.0, and they would have seen him all through last season, knowing how good he was in the Championship. He'll get some goals and assists this time around in the Premier League as well. Bright's second goal in 3, and also 2 assists in 2 games for Ball there, as Omar was once again involved in the build-up. He got the hockey assist as we go a goal up on the South Coast at the Vitality. So a great start from QPR, being really assertive, really fearless. We have the early lead as Jefferson Lerma also almost put Bournemouth back on level terms here, 28 minutes in, but still leading by a goal. And I must say, after the game against Burnley, where my defence was shocking, in this game we were far better. You would have seen pre-game, I made a big change heading into the game. I took out Jed Spence, mainly for his sake really, and put Andy Rinamotta at right back, as we know the holding mid can play there, and I put Stephen Bell into the back 4 for his first appearance in Premier League football. He was an absolute man-mountain at the back alongside Johan Barbet. Our French and German duo were superb together in the back line. Both could have shared the champagne, and Andy was also superb at right back as well. So final score 1-0 to QPR, and for the first time we win in the Premier League and keep a clean sheet as well. We know it's going to be really difficult to get wins and clean sheets together this season. So in games like that, when we're taking on teams that are expected to struggle just like us down the bottom of the table, we shouldn't target draws and just call them good results. No, in those sort of games, we've got to go for wins. We get our first of the Premier League era there, and that was a massive one, plus the clean sheet as well on the South Coast. Still following out, we had a bid for Kake, our backup right back, and whilst Jed Spence had a tough start to the season in the Premier League, I still thought it was best to sell Kake. He has a couple of years left on his deal, but a 67 rated, 23 years old. He might get a little bit better, but I don't know if he's got that much potential, and to be honest, I think we could do better. With Andy stepping in there against Bournemouth and doing really well too, I think if we are going to change things and have a different right back other than Jed this season, it will most likely be Andy going from holding mid to right back. So I accepted a 1.5 mil bid for Kake, and he looks like he's on his way to America to give us a little bit more cash. And for our third of 4 games today, we head back to the Kai Prince Foundation Stadium to take on Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup second round. You would have seen with my lineup pre-game as well. This competition, just like last season, I am not going to give it one bit of my time. This is a competition for fringe players and youngsters to impress, and to be fair, I do expect a lot of lineup rotation this season in the Premier League as well, a lot of experimentation due to how tough it's going to be. So this is the perfect competition for those fringe players to impress and show me what they can do and why they deserve starts in the Premier League. So taking on the Championship side Borough here at the Kai Prince Foundation Stadium, we took the lead through Brian Brobby making his debut for the club, the young Dutch striker formerly of Ajax, making it 1-0. And whilst we did concede a leveller, 15 minutes to go, he scored again. A brace for Brian Brobby here as he ends up scoring the goal of the game that wins it for us with 15 minutes to go in a 2-1 win here in West London to go through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. And I've been talking about the fact we don't really have a goal scorer in this team. I don't think Charlie Kelman is going to score that many in the Premier League. The American impressed last year, but I don't think he's got the quality to step up to the Premier League right away at 19 years old. Lyndon Dykes, I've not got much faith in him either. So I've been thinking, who's going to bang in the goals this season? Well, Bright was our top scorer with 2, and in that one game alone, Brian levels his goal tally with 2 in the cup there against the Borough. So yeah, Brobby with a brace there, and possibly, just possibly, Brian Brobby, signed on a free transfer from Ajax, might be the guy that ends up starting as our striker this year. Who knows? We know he's got good potential, so it might be worth throwing him in at the deep end. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Still, Kake has gone to Inter Miami, so farewell to Osmal. We get about 1.5 million for the transfer fee, and also rejected bid there for Liam Kelly. So many bids coming in for the Scot who was superb last year. I might just block offers because we've got no intention of selling him. And heading into our fourth and final game of today's episode here, staying at the Kyle Prince Foundation Stadium, aiming for 3 straight wins in all competitions here as we will take on Frank Lampard's Chelsea in our first West London derby of the series. Super excited for this one, as you can imagine, but it was a really tough first half, and with 5 minutes to go before the break we would concede as well. We were defending really well in the first half, but Chelsea found a little opening. That's all the AI need on ultimate difficulty, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek punishes us as he drills it in to the far corner. So Chelsea in front, heading to the break. In the second half I did come out of my shell a little bit, tried to attack a little bit more and get ourselves back in the game because we needed to, trailing by 1. We had a good chance here, 22 minutes to go, as Charles Bull receives the ball just inside the area, flicks it through to Bright. Good opportunity for his 3rd goal in 4 games, but sadly denied by Kepa. He makes a great save and turns it behind for a corner, so still 1-0, but I really struggled to create chances in this game. Our final one fell here with 8 minutes to go. A little bit of a contentious moment on the sidelines. I was absolutely fuming. I thought Lewis Baker was tripped up there and should have won us a penalty against his former club. Did he get to the ball first and N'Golo Kante, or did Baker turn out with the outside of the right boot? Well, I slowed it down, CSI Miami style, enhance, but unfortunately I think the referee made the right call there. I've got to be honest, when it happened in real time, I thought it was a penalty. I was so close to well, I was actually, I'm not that kind of FIFA player, but I was very close to being annoyed at the lack of penalty decision, and yeah, it wasn't a penalty in the end. It was a great tackle by Kante as he proves his worth as one of the best players in the Premier League. I thought at the time, though, it was a penalty. Sadly, it wasn't given. Referee calls it right. They should have at least gone to VAR and consulted my wishes, but either way, final score 1-0. Chelsea get the win. It's 2 defeats in 3 and just 1 win in 4 to start our campaign off in the Premier League as well. It's been a tough start for Queen's Park Rangers, but that is exactly what we're expecting and exactly what we anticipate will happen throughout the entire course of our first campaign in the top flight. But that was this episode of the PS5 Career Mode, guys, so a big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for the comments in the last episode, by the way, regarding the scouts. I'll talk more about that in the next episode, but have a great day. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode featuring Transfer Deadline Day very soon.